all the way from southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, panhandle of Florida, through southern Georgia as well. Look at that. Very strong winds aloft with these cells pushing through. Make sure you tell your neighbors. Make sure you help share this video. Let people know about that. That right there is very dangerous, and it's going to be coming by early in the morning while everybody's sleeping. Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. Mark again here, Weatherman Plus. I'm going to give you the latest update on what's going on with the storm system. Now, you can see right now that we have a lot of storms that's passing through. This is going to go all morning long into the early afternoon hours. Then it's going to come back again for later tonight into tomorrow. Now, this is your tornado watch area. This is going to go on all the way till noon. You got to watch for 70 miles per hour winds coming with these thunderstorms as well. All this yellow is all fast winds coming through. Plus, we have a lot of hail. This is right now is 3/4 inch, 40 miles per hour wind gusts. You have the flash flood warnings going into. We have a lot of flash flood emergencies last night. We have tornado emergencies last night. It was a very powerful storm. Now, this is going to come through for today. Then it's going to brew right back up on the south central and come across the south for tonight. Come back again for later tonight into tomorrow morning. You're going to be in another tornado watch. So I'm going to show you exactly what you can expect as well as the next storm that's pushing through. Then we're going to come back and look through the model data and see where these storms are so far showing where they could form at. Now, we do have a lot of power outages. They have gotten a lot better. It's fluctuating a whole bunch. Right now, North Carolina at 95,000, Tennessee over 50,000, South Carolina almost 40, Georgia 30, Virgin Islands over 20, and we still have other states with thousands without power. It just don't meet the criteria of the 10,000 to get to yellow. So when we refresh it and see what the latest update is, and North Carolina has gotten a little bit better, but it's still a lot of power outages going on. And now it's starting to get into Missouri with 10,000, and it's starting to build up for Georgia. Georgia, 45,000 without power right now. And the whole region is over 300,000 without power. Now, so far they have it for 11 tornado reports all through the night. I'm showing a few more, maybe up to 15 or maybe even 16. They still got to evaluate. But you can also see that you had almost 300 hail reports and over 200 wind damage reports. Over 500 reports of hail and wind damage in this region. Just like that update video when I was showing you all night long how you're going to get all this hail and wind damage. And if you remember from that video, we're going to get the same thing on the southern side for today. As this front pushes further to the south, these storms are going to brew up. And for those that haven't seen it, this is the video from last night showing the hail threat all evening long. The wind threat was the same way. And for today. So officially from National Weather Service for today, your chances for tornadoes. You also got some storms that's brewing up across the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes and pushing out through the northeast. You're in the 2%, plus what happens on the south going through the southeast. It's going to start here for this morning all the way to early afternoon. Then it's going to carry across again. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for the tornado threat for today. And the wind threat. Still expecting hurricane force winds in this hashed area, this black area. But you do have the 5% and the 15% going right up the coast. Here's your cities and states at risk for the damage and winds for today. And the hail threat. Even significant hail still expected in this black. We did get 4-inch hail last night. It's not going to be that big today. You're still expecting 2 or 3 inches. But you still have the 15%, the 5% going all the way up towards the tornado warning area in the northeast. And you have this 30% as well. So here's your cities and states at risk for the damage and hail for today. Now, the latest from National Weather Service says very large hail with multiple supercells appear probable across parts of central Texas into the Arklatex vicinity Thursday afternoon and evening. A broader corridor of severe weather and damage and wind potential will extend from East Texas into the lower Mississippi Valley and southeast. But you still have severity for today. You can look as you go through the afternoon. Once you go to 2 and 3 o'clock, you get some very strong cells pushing through. When you look at your lower level winds up aloft, you can see you're starting to get some strong winds on that group of storms that get stronger as you go through the evening. You get some bowing out in there, but you can't rule out maybe a supercell potentially getting some spin on it, an embedded cell in this line of storms as you go through the evening. Showing them winds will stay strong for central and southern and southeastern Georgia as this goes into South Carolina. Showing it's behind it. Showing that be pushing it like some damage and winds. You can see the bowing out, but you still can't rule out a feature on these cells potentially getting strong as you go through the early afternoon. That's because of these winds aloft giving it wind direction change with height, but this also will help give it convection as well and keep them strong. But you see how it bows out and starts pushing out the damaging wind event as that goes through the evening from your winds aloft right behind that. Now you can also see as this goes through the evening that you also have some winds behind these storms as they go all evening along. Showing it will get up to the 50, the 60. You get 60 in the red, 70 in that brown as those storms push through. So far showing the highest is around 80 on some of these cells. Now, those cells through Alabama will be pushing through around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So you got to watch out for those storm cells too. You see that strong red right there? That is a lot of precipitation, just like this one right here for Georgia. That's a lot of precipitation inside this storm cell, and that's bringing a lot of chances for this to become a very powerful storm. Bringing chances for winds, also bringing the winds aloft as well, so you could get a spin up. Just be aware of that. But then now we're going to switch it to the south central where it starts through our afternoon, and your temperatures raise way up for today. You get all the way down towards 110, 113 degrees. That's for northern Mexico. But southern Texas and southwestern Texas, y'all get over 100 degrees, almost 110 degrees for today. And you can see how this spreads all across the south and the southeast. You're getting across those 90s as well. And with your heat indices, now you're talking feels like 120 degrees for southern Texas as all this goes across Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi. This is making you feel like over 100 to 105 degree temperatures. This is with your heat indices. Now that's going to help with your lift for today. You can see your convection really picks up as you go through today. This is going to help storms grow and breathe, but this gives you a lot of strong updrafts as well, and that would help you get large hail as you go through the day. But as you go through the evening, it's going to lower even more, and now you can see where your line of storms is going to be strongest at. Plus your dew points. You got a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. You are in the high 70s for today. That's going to make for some very strong storms. Once they start brewing up, they're going to be big and bulky. 70-something dew points. Really muggy. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana my whole life. I'll tell you what, I don't miss sweating at the bus stop at 6 a.m. It's just ridiculous down south. But at the same time, you can see that once you start getting all that convection, you start getting these storms brewing up over the DFW for Texas, and they do get strong. They get big and bulky. Look at that, all that precipitation that's in that cell as you're going through 7 p.m. all night long. Look at that, all the way to 10 and 11 o'clock. Now it's moving through Louisiana, while you still got some in Texas. Now this is going to be isolated in nature. These are going to be strong storms wherever they form up, but it's not going to be everywhere. Then as you go through the early morning hours, it travels across Mississippi, across Louisiana, all the way across Alabama, all the way to 4 a.m., showing some very large hail coming out of those storm cells, especially those big ones you saw brew up for Texas. Look at this. That pink right there is the highest on the chart. That's going to be your largest hail for today. Also what travels through the DFW and northern. Matter of fact, this is where your significant hail is warned at. Plus it goes across Louisiana. Look, they strengthen up as they go across southern Mississippi and southern Alabama. Also have some damaging winds coming with that. These cells showing maybe getting some 50, 60, even getting to 70 in the brown miles per hour wind gusts with each one of these cells as that brews up and brings you that very large hail. Look over here all across the DFW, very powerful. Northern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama. Very powerful winds come with these storm cells. So later on tonight, after the storms leave Texas, it goes across Louisiana. By midnight, you're going across Mississippi, across Alabama once again, and you can see the severity in those cells, very powerful as that pushes by 4 a.m. and you can see the bowing out, bringing the winds with that as well. Then you got the second round coming across Florida and Georgia while you go through tomorrow morning and then spreading out across South Carolina. But watch these cells going across the panhandle of Florida. Those really level out. It's going to bring chances for tornadoes with that. I believe that could get a little upgrade on that. Then maybe get a little upgrade on what's going through South Carolina for tomorrow. Look at that. Right around central South Carolina, right next to Columbia, going towards North Carolina, right along the coast. You see the curvature in that, bringing damage and winds. It's just a few isolated in nature right there, but they could turn powerful. Then in the afternoon, maybe spark right back up for North Carolina and Virginia, showing that once you go to the early morning hours, these storm cells, you can see the bowing out in them, that they start brewing up over here for southern Mississippi at 2 a.m. When you look at your lower level winds, you can see that your winds are starting to pick up on those storm cells as they come across Mississippi, as they come across southern Alabama. As you keep going forward, you can see the wind levels are still there, very strong. It could easily be damaging winds. You can see the bowing out in these cells, but you can't rule out a chance for an embedded cell in that line of storms. 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, you still got the very strong winds aloft on that cell, looking like damaging winds from the model data, but this will change a little bit as we get closer, and having strong winds aloft is a dangerous thing. Now, as you go from 5 a.m., you got this big time bowing going on, and you go to 6 a.m., still bowing out, but look at your winds aloft. They are strengthening. I believe this will be upgraded. As you go towards 7 a.m., starts becoming a little discombobulated, but you still see you got some winds pushing to the southern side. You have some more winds pushing on the other part for Alabama. A lot of strong winds aloft. I think that the Florida Panhandle really needs to watch out for Friday morning. I think that could be upgraded on those storms passing through all the way from southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, Panhandle of Florida, through southern Georgia as well. Look at that. Very strong winds aloft with these cells pushing through. Make sure you tell your neighbors. Make sure you help share this video. Let people know about that. That right there is very dangerous, and it's going to be coming by early in the morning while everybody's sleeping. Plus, after that, you have all that hail coming behind that. So you have a chance for big hail. You got chances for tornadoes. A strong chance, matter of fact, for Alabama and the Panhandle of Florida. Also, have you a lot of damage and winds really picking up for that region. We will see an uptick in this area before this afternoon. Showing the winds coming with those cells is once again 50 in the orange. You get the 60 once it passes by southern Mississippi. You do get a 40 and a 50 on those cells, but you start getting a 60 when it passes. Start getting that white after that. Start getting a 70 in the brown, 80 in the white on those storm cells as that pushes through for southern Alabama, through southern Georgia, and goes through Florida, bringing a 40 and a 50 miles per hour wind gusts all the way down towards Cape Coral. Look at that. A lot of winds still coming. So far, your update for tomorrow, your chances for tornadoes, you do have this 2%. But like I said, I think we will see an upgrade in this region right here for a stronger chance for tornadoes. So far, here's your cities and states at risk. And you do have your wind threat for tomorrow as well. You have that 5%. You got that 15% for those cells I was showing you. I believe that 15% will be stretched out as well. So far, here's your cities and states at risk. And you have your hail threat for tomorrow. You have that 5%. But like I said, you got that whole trail of hail. I believe you will see that upgrade on that hail threat also. So far, here's your cities and states at risk. And National Weather Service does see that bowing out as coming on as it goes through Georgia, as it comes through Florida. And they're saying its best chances maybe for an embedded tornado or two also appears possible. It will be a MCS, a mesoscale convective system, but at the same time, it more likely will be damaging winds will be the main feature with this. It will be updated. We need to see more trends with it, but I think it could be also a chance for tornadoes. So as we go through the morning and start off with what we have now coming through, you see these storm cells that we have. This is Central Time. This is not Eastern Time. By the time we go towards noontime, you got some nice cells moving through for South Carolina, Alabama, also for Georgia. This is the ones that go all evening long. Then it starts strengthening up once you get around 4 and 5 o'clock. This is at 5 o'clock. The storm's going off South Carolina, strengthening up in the Atlantic. But look at these storm cells coming through southern Georgia. Even chances for large hail in those storm cells. That's not only white, that has black in there. Also that one coming through Georgia. So just be aware, these are very powerful storms that's coming through for this evening, bringing chances for hail with them all evening long. This is only round one. Then it's going to push through all the way until later tonight. I'll go through Texas in just a second. Then you got these other storm cells that's going to start brewing up as you go through 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, these are the ones that you can see that were very powerful. You're not only white, but you see black in there. Chances for hail to come out of those storm cells as that pushes through 2 and 3 o'clock, going by Jackson. By 4 o'clock, you start getting that bowing out feature in there. Still got hail in those storm cells as you go all the way to 4 and 5. Still got the bowing out feature. Those are the winds that I was showing you. Now you go on towards 6 o'clock as that pushes towards the panhandle of Florida. Let's see the bowing out. You got those winds pushing through. And then here comes your second round as you go on through Friday morning. Right around 5 and 6 o'clock coming to Georgia, Florida. 7 o'clock coming through. Still a big anomaly. Still going all the way up from southern Atlanta all the way down towards the panhandle of Florida. By the time you go to 8 a.m. for tomorrow morning, and your second round pushes through 9. Get them strong hail cores along the panhandle. Remember, those had some strong winds aloft as well. 10 by 11. By noon, is pushing off Georgia, South Carolina, but you still got it on Florida for a couple more hours as that pushes through all the way to 5 and 6 o'clock. Now, you still have what happens for Texas before that goes that way. So you have it for this morning that's going across the southeast. But then this afternoon, those storm cells brew up over here by DFW. 3 and 4 o'clock. Some strong cells pushing through. Remember, the southern ones were even stronger. But look at that. It's chances for large hail. Not just the white. You also got the black in there. So that's where you're going to get the large hail, big, strong updrafts, a lot of lightning strikes going on for that storm cell. As you go through 6 p.m., multiple cells pushing out. And this is where it changes. This is where this group comes southern, and this group goes to the east. And once you go towards 7 and 8 o'clock, you can see that just starts dissipating. You go into a stable environment as that front is pushing down. But you also have these other cells that's pushing through Texas before they go towards Louisiana. Showing kind of mild until around 10 o'clock. It booms right back up for those that go across Louisiana. Also over here a little east of Austin as that storm cell comes by as well. Then it goes Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, what I just showed you. Thank you so much for your time, everybody. If this video does help you, help another with it. Help share this video either on social media. All my links are down below. I even reposted all the tornado damage that I found on the internet on my X account. My Twitter is all down below in the description. So help leave a like, help share it to another family, help someone else plan their day a little bit better. Thank you again for your time, and I appreciate your time. Now, before you go, real quick for your day, Romans 13, 1 through 3. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. Amen. Now remember, above all things, all glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope he keeps you safe, you and your family, and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody, and stay safe